This is the interior on the BYD Atto 3. So you can see I've got a fairly big touchscreen. It's got a lot of features. It's a bit like a normal iPad or tablet, where you got all your settings that you would normally have on a tablet or a phone. And you've also got, what's this? So media volume, that would turn that down. Broadcast, which is the alerts. Parking sensors are on. This is instrument panel lighting and this pad lighting. So you can change the volume there, or the brightness. Automatic high beam, which works really well. Seat heating, sunroof open and closing. You can set the shade to whatever position you want, and do the same with the sunroof, whatever position you want. So there you go, 60% for both of those. What else do we have? Heated seats, so we can turn the two front seats on heat. Rear windshield and side mirrors. What else do we have? I'm not sure what that one is. I have to read the manual again. Don't know all of the functions. And that's just your general cellular data and brightness settings. Alright, so that covers the top menu. Then we've got just go all the way back from, you got your navigation, Spotify, which comes with the car, and you get all free music data, digital audio, which is really clear. Then you're just more Android icons. Settings is pretty interesting. So we've got internet settings, Wi-Fi, cellular data, Bluetooth, audio. The sound in this car is very good, better than average, probably up there with some of the best audio in cars that are around. So you have you have 8 speakers, so 4 tweeters, 4 woofers, no subwoofer. For me, I don't mind. Some people might prefer the really deep bass, but yeah, I prefer not much bass. So here's my settings, which is probably different from most people. In my opinion, this stereo has too much bass already, so I've really cut it down, and when I have it down like that, it's more balanced sound, and you can actually hear the difference in the bass notes. I find the treble, maybe I'm getting old, but if the tweeters were better, the audio would be a big improvement in the sound quality of this car. I might even look at replacing the front 2 tweeters down the track if it's easy to do, for some better quality ones, because I like the real top end quality sound. Yeah, so you got all those settings, but that's my custom setting. If anybody wants to try that, works really well on quality music. Like blues and jazz is really fantastic. The sound quality of instruments in this car stereo is really good, fantastic. It's just as good as listening to high quality hi-fi at home. So if you want to enjoy some high quality music, come out to the car, because it's really good. Okay, so what else do we have? Display, just the different themes. You can have the light and dark theme, and the brightness control again. Then software, so what version of software you're on. It shows you all the details of the software if you click on there. IMEI is your SIM card identification. Second one is also a SIM card identification. 89610 means it's a Telstra SIM card, and that's firmware version. hardware version as well. Apps, yeah, so if you want to try and add additional programs in this, something to do the ADB debug or something somewhere here. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm on one of the latest versions of firmware, so I'm not really sure if I can install any outside apps. But yeah, if anyone knows how to do it easily, I think some people use Fire Stick or something to try and add apps. But yeah, there's an ADB debug or something that has to be selected, and I don't know how to do that yet. More is just time zones and stuff like that. Pretty boring. So that's all those top ones covered. Now we're going to head down the side. So unfortunately, there's quite a lot. Oops. So we have to go back to settings again. So what do we got here? Oh, that's the D-Link one. Okay, D-Pilot is lane support system. So yeah, with this one, if you're using so I've got it set up. We don't want warnings every time we're going out of the lane. It's very annoying. So I like no interruptions when I'm driving. So I just have vibration and prevention. And if you're using the autonomous cruise control, this is the set button for autonomous cruise control. If you don't press this button, the wheel you're going to be drifting all over the lane, and it won't be able to measure the center of the lane. So yeah, whenever you're using the autonomous or the adaptive cruise control, and you want the lane assist, make sure you do the calibration. Otherwise, yeah, your steering wheel's going to be drifting all over the place, and you won't think the that feature's very, very good. But once you press that button, yeah, it really centers the car in the lanes. It's a lot better. Still not perfect, but yeah, very comfortable on highways, freeways, and all that. Yeah, so we just completed 10 hours of driving to the Gold Coast, and normally I'm pretty tired after driving 10 hours, but for some reason this car, the noise and vibration, harshness, or taking a break every 2.5 hours, I don't know what it is, but I just felt totally relaxed at the end of the drive. I was kind of like, yeah, I was quite surprised. There's no fatigue in driving electric cars. It's kind of a very strange feeling. So what else do we have? Active safety. Yeah, so if you have all these settings so predictive collision warning, I think that's the audio warning, and autonomous emergency braking. So according to ANCAP, this car will stop with anything on the road in front of you, or any cars or kids or bikes or anything come out in front of you. It will automatically apply the brakes. And yeah, so 90% of the time it'll miss a collision, according to the ANCAP. So there was one little child on a bike that hit them, but out of all the other tests, probably 9 other tests that passed, but only one that failed. So system's probably around about 90% accurate. Blind spot. So that's your blind spot detection. So I've got everything turned off except for the doors. I don't want to have a warning every time a door opens. So let's see what that's like. Didn't do it. Anyway, I've heard it before. So cross traffic alert, rear collision warning, yes. So I'll leave all those on. Again, they're not very interruptive. I've hardly ever heard them go off. Some people say they annoy them, but it's very rare for them to go off. Obviously, when you're parking really close to an object or driving really close, you want to hear an alarm. So works fine for me. New energy, that is just your regen. When I first got the car, I wasn't used to electric cars, so I didn't like the regen. I thought it made me a bit car sick because it was always forward power, always jerking forward and backwards. And when I went to the test drive, I was a bit concerned. But since I've done 2,000 Ks in standard, now I'm used to the regen. Now I can set it to high, and I feel comfortable with that now. What else we got? Steering mode, brake assist. Yeah, I don't know if it makes a lot of difference, but yeah, I prefer the sport setting. Vehicle health. So yeah, so that gives you an idea when your next service is due. There's a wiper position, which is up the top there, so when you're washing the car you can pull the wipers forward and don't hit the bonnet with the wipers because they're recessed. Vehicle information, car status, you can do a check to see if the any parts need to be looked at. We had some lane keep assist warnings come on, and they stayed on for an hour or two, and then they just basically went away by themselves. So we thought we might have to go to the dealer, but it ended up clearing itself. Right, so that's all there is. Besides the settings down below, you got air conditioning settings, so you can adjust your temperature here, adjust all your normal air settings. What else? You've also got some apps. You can do split screen, which will be Spotify, and you can split it, and then you can split it with navigation. So you can have Spotify and navigation running at the same time. And you can turn the screen off, I think. Recent taskbar. Oh, there you go. So that was recent settings. So you go back to home again. And then you've got all these other icons, which I won't go through. But we'll just see how the voice is working at the moment. So we'll just do some voice commands. BYD. Hey BYD. So for some reason, sometimes the voice commands don't work, but we'll just press the button. Put the windows down. Put all the windows down. So it just closes all the windows, and then we'll just do, hey BYD. Hi BYD. BYD. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but sometimes it works every time. And too annoying, because as soon as you say BYD, it automatically thinks you're trying to talk to it, and then sometimes it just doesn't want to answer. So close the sunroof. So yeah. Also in the BYD assistant, you got all settings for the volume and that, and it has over here voice skills. So for maps, it tells you all the things it does. So destination, you can say go home, navigate to library, navigate to train station, go to work. How long will it take to get to a destination, distance to destination, view entire trip, find a parking space, charge station, supermarket, toilet, map zoom in, zoom out, switch to 3D, switch to 2D, exit navigation. And under vehicle control, you got turn on the air conditioning, make the temperature whatever degrees you want it to be, turn on external circulation, too hot, turn the fan speed down, set the fan speed level 3, switch on front window defrost, turn on fan, turn on ventilation. So seats, you got heated seats, you can do that. The lighting, I will show you later on, some of the lighting controls. Sunroof ones we just went through, and the windows and the sunshade. Only halfway there. Still got Bluetooth. It's very limited commands in the Bluetooth. Media player, play music, play next song, scan radio, all that sort of stuff. System operations, So volume control, rotate the screen, vehicle settings, Bluetooth, screen brighter, offline commands. What's that? Oh yeah, so air conditioning control, window control, volume control, make a call, turn Bluetooth on and off. So it's not too bad, but yeah, it's good fun. So I think that's all that we have on that screen. Autonomous cruise control. So the way you enter that is when you're driving, you press set here, and once you press set, it turns the system on, and then you go, if you're already at a speed you're happy with, you just toggle down and that'll lock in that speed. If you want to increase the speed, you toggle up, and it'll go up in 5 kilometer increments. You can also use that I use it for braking. So whenever I want to exit a freeway or something like that, I just toggle this down. It drops the speed 5 k's each time instead of pressing the brake. So I'm a bit lazy. So this is your distances from the car in front when you're doing adaptive cruise control. And yeah, so over the other side is just the normal stereo volume control, phone call. This mode button here, I think. Oh yeah, so that mode button will do. So over the past 50 k's, we're doing 12 kilowatts per 100, which is per 100 k's. That's pretty good because we're driving in the city now. So yeah, it's probably around 50% higher at 110. So we've found out. What other modes do we have? Mode? I can't remember now. Down here I've also got my 12 volt battery meter. So it's just a 12 volt cigarette lighter with a voltage meter for your 12 volt battery to see if it's going flat on you. And the software looks pretty good because I've sat in the car for 2 hours with the lights on and everything, and it's never gone below 13.5 volts. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues with my 12 volt battery going flat at this stage. But this little indicator will let me know if it gets anywhere near 12 volts. I know I'm starting to have problems with the 12 volt battery, but touch wood, everything's been good so far. For those who like a bit of Carbling, I bought these stainless steel strips. I think they're around $30. Really look pretty good, and I didn't want to keep scratching the car every time I get in and out, so I got these little stickers. They're not that good because they don't stick very well, and I tried to put extra double-sided tape, but they keep coming up. But for $5 or $6 for a whole set, thought it was a pretty good deal anyway. What else do we have? The old panel inside, which is and then a garbage bag underneath. So yeah, it fits really well. That's good. What else do I have? I bought these ones, so it covers up the bolts and stuff. Like $12 Australian for a set of 4 in stainless steel. I think they're pretty good. So let's have a look at what the car looks like from the outside. So I'm running lights, which you can just see. The headlights are a really intricate design, really design when you get up close. It's quite shiny. I haven't got much polish on this at the moment, so I'll probably do another photo for you when I polish it this weekend. Some little sticker things here I just got on. Let's see what else can we show you. Yeah, so that's the car, and that's the white colour. Yeah, I don't mind the white. I thought it was just going to be a plain white, but it's not. It's like a pearl white, and it's actually called ski white, so I don't know, a bit confusing there. That's it for another video. We're heading back home.